What's up everyone, my name is Marie, welcome to my channel and welcome to another video. So for today's speed build, I am in the world of Windenburg and I'm building this tiny little cottage, which actually didn't turn out to be so tiny. I thought it was going to be very tiny, but it's not. Well, the way I furnished it, it still kind of feels very small, but it's actually quite nicely sized. Like, it's not very big, not very small, but it's definitely not a tiny home. The upstairs area, however, is very small and very cramped, so yeah, that's that. But you'll see that when we move on to the interior of the house. This cottage, I wanted to build something for the spring. So this cottage is basically spring themed, if that's how you want to call it. I tried to use a lot of pastel colors for the exterior of the build. And for the landscaping, I just try to place down a lot of flowers, a lot of colored plants, and I just overall tried to make it look very cutesy and colorful and just ready for spring, which is kind of fitting, but because as I am doing this voiceover, it's actually Easter today. It's Easter Sunday, which, yeah, that's today. Not when you're watching this. When you're watching this, it's probably way past Easter already. I have no clue when I'm uploading this, but yeah, not tonight. So when you're watching this, it's not Easter anymore, but right now, as of this moment, when I'm talking, it is Easter. So yeah, happy Easter, I guess. Yeah, this build is actually quite fitting for this time of year, and however, it is very, very gloomy outside today. Last week, we did have a couple of days where it was actually very warm and very sunny, and it definitely felt like spring. And I want that weather back because right now it's very gloomy and there are a lot of clouds and it's quite cold as well. And it has been like this for the past few days. And it definitely doesn't feel like spring. It feels like fall to me at this very moment. And even though I love fall, I think that's my favorite season, right now I'm ready for spring. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I just need some sunlight. And I'm not the type of person to actually go out and sit in the sun all day because I will melt and I will burn to pieces, and it's just not good for me, not for anyone. But I feel like I don't really tan, I just burn, and then that's that. So yeah, the sun is not my friend, but I still really, really do need some sunlight. And I'm ready for it. Like, I'm ready for spring. I'm ready for nice weather. I'm ready for not needing to put on a jacket when I go outside, that type of weather. Like, I don't need it to be hot because I can't deal with hot weather. I'm very bad at that. I'm way better at dealing with cold than I am dealing with hot weather. So yeah, I don't need it to be hot, but I want the weather to be nice. I want it to be sunny. I want people to be happy and in good moods, which is difficult because of the whole situation in the world, and we're not talking about that because it's very depressing. But I will say this, in my country where I am, obviously I am in my country. I live in the Netherlands, and cases are terrible, absolutely terrible. So I feel like we're gonna go into lockdown again, even though we just got out of a pretty strict lockdown, like not crazy or anything, but a pretty strict lockdown. I feel like it's gonna happen again because cases are absolutely going crazy, and I don't want to talk about this, so I'm not talking about it right now. Yeah, but I just quickly wanted to mention that. But you can definitely see this house come together. One thing that was actually very annoying, I started building this house and I basically finished the whole, well, not the whole exterior. Like, I didn't really do any wall paint or anything just yet. I finished the shape and the roofing and the window situation. Not the complete window situation, but I did place a lot of windows down. And then I came to the conclusion, or I found out that I was not recording. So that sucked. I pressed record, but apparently it gave me some sort of error, which I hadn't seen because I was already in my game when I pressed record. So I didn't see that error. And so, yeah, I was basically already building for like 30 minutes or so, which is not too bad actually. Like it could have been way worse, don't get me wrong. But yeah, it kind of sucked because I was really happy with the way that this house turned out. Because initially I was fiddling around with the shape of this build a lot. Like I didn't really have any reference. I just started building and I knew that I wanted this cottage to be cute and a little bit quirky, a little bit weird and very colorful. So I just started building. And then I finally ended up with this shape that I really liked. And then I realized that I wasn't recording the whole time, so I needed to bulldoze the house and start over, which, I mean, it's not too bad. It was actually, I just took a couple of pictures with my phone for reference basically, so I could build the exact same thing again. And then I bulldozed the lot and started over basically, which, like I said, it was not too bad. Like, I mean, I could have already like started on the furniture and then that would have been really, really annoying. But yeah, it was not too bad, but it was a little bit annoying. So what I actually did was, I was not in the best mood when that happened either. So when I realized that I hadn't recorded, I just took pictures with my phone, bulldozed a lot and called it a day. So I was like, you know what? I'll start again tomorrow. So that's what I did. And yeah, I don't know. I'm really happy with the way that it came out though. So I just felt like sharing that little story with you guys, because sometimes that's just the struggle of recording. Like sometimes that happens and it's really annoying, and it happened to me quite a bit. Like it hasn't happened to me in a while, but it definitely has happened to me before a lot of times, and it's really, really annoying. However, it's worse when it happens to when you're furnishing the house, because I feel like that takes me a lot longer because of all the clutter and things like that. And sometimes that happens too, like when you furnish like 3 rooms, for example, all ready to go, all cluttered and cozy and personalized and good to go, and then I'll realize that my software wasn't recording or what have you, and then that's a lot worse actually. So yeah, it could have definitely been worse, but yeah, it happens. One thing I did not record though for this build was the floor plan, or at least me figuring out the floor plan, because it was terrible. It took me, I think, about 45 minutes to figure that out, because you can probably tell that the shape of this house is super weird. It's very funky. It has a lot of little bump outs and a little weird, just some weird areas here and there. And so it took me a while to figure it out. Also because I was set on using an actual staircase instead of the ladder that I eventually put. I was set on using a staircase. I don't know why, but I felt like that's what this cottage needed. But the staircase was taking up a lot of space for one. And second of all, it was just like, I needed to put it in a very awkward spot. There were only like 2 or 3 spots where it would actually work, because the upstairs area is very small. So there are not a lot of options to place the stairs basically. So yeah, the spaces that I had to work with for the staircase were not working out for me at all. Like it was just too weird and I couldn't make the floor plan work downstairs. So yeah, in the end, I got rid of the staircase and settled for a ladder, which in the end works out perfectly fine and also gave me a lot more space upstairs as well. So I could actually turn that into a full study area with a desk and a computer, and I also put down an easel. So I guess it's just a little study / hobby area. But yeah, you'll see that once we move on to the upstairs. And then downstairs right here, we have the little dining area and the kitchen. And then off of the dining area, you have that archway right there that you can't really see right now, but you'll see it later on. And that leads into the living area and just a little hallway at first, I guess, where there is a door off to the bedroom. And then it leads into the living area. And so yeah, the living area is actually quite spacious, but the way I furnished it, it looks quite cramped because I didn't want this. Yeah, I wanted this cottage to have a very cozy look and feel, and I wanted it to be cluttered and just kind of cramped looking. And I think it turned out nicely. I was using these kitchen counters from the kitchen kit, the country kitchen kit. At first, I wanted to use the parenthood counters. And then I remembered that we had these counters as well. I kind of forgot about them for a second there. And then I realized, no, I have to use these ones because they come in very pretty colors as well, and so do the appliances. So yeah, I tried to go for very pastel, cutesy colors to go for that, yeah, just spring. Spring is the word I'm looking for, spring vibes. And I had so much fun with it. But yeah, when I was building this, I actually really felt like, yeah, I really want spring. We discussed this before, but I am really looking forward and ready for nice weather. And as I was furnishing this, I realized that even more. So yeah, I don't know. I hope it's gonna happen soon because I need it. I need it in my life. I need it for my mental health. I need it for my overall health. Not like I'm sick or anything, but I don't know. You know that feeling in your body when you feel like you can just feel that you need nice weather, that like you need sunlight. Maybe that's just me, but I have that feeling sometimes, and I have it now as well. So yeah, I definitely need that. But yeah, you can definitely see the kitchen coming along. I placed a lot of plants everywhere. I did that throughout the whole house. I placed as many plants and flowers and things as possible because obviously it's a spring house. So I wanted it to be colorful and happy and vibrant. And yeah, you can also see that in the colors that I chose for the wallpaper, for example. I made the living area a pastel yellow. The kitchen is all over the place, as you can see, but the dining area, the walls in the dining area are yellow, and then the walls in the living area are this pastel pink, as you can see, with that little yellow accent wall right there in that little sun. It's not necessarily a sunroom, but just that little area where there are a lot of windows. And the bedroom is blue, baby blue, or like pastel blue. So everything is very colorful and vibrant. But I did want to go for pastel colors because they're a little bit softer. So it's a little bit easier on the eyes and a little bit easier to combine as well. And over here, I was having a difficult time figuring out the color scheme for the living area with the couch and the chair and that little side table and stuff like that. But here you can see I actually settled for a yellow couch to go with that accent wall and a blue chair, and I actually chose a more neutral swatch for the console table, so that was a little bit easier to match. And I really like the color scheme in here. I think it turned out very cutesy and cozy, and it's a little bit extra maybe. I can definitely understand it if you don't like all these colors, but I don't know. It was just kind of the whole purpose of this build was to make it look very colorful. So I usually like to go for more neutral tones throughout a build as well, and then use some accent colors here and there. But for this house, I actually kind of wanted to, I guess, challenge myself in the sense that I wanted to use as many colors as possible, but still make it look good. Now that I'm looking at this footage, the couch actually looks a little bit green to me. Is that just me? I think it's supposed to be the yellow swatch, like the baby or like pastel yellow swatch, but now that I'm looking at it in this footage, it kind of looks light green, like minty green. I don't know. I hope it's yellow. It's supposed to be yellow. Maybe that's my reshade. Maybe without a reshade, it's green. I hope not. Oh my God, that would be terrible. I didn't check it without my reshade. Yeah, it's supposed to be a yellow couch. So if it's not yellow in your game, you can always change the swatch, I guess. But I'm pretty sure it's yellow. But here you can see I placed an extra little dining table. It's not so much meant to be a dining table, but I just wanted an extra little seating area in the living area. So you can sit there with friends or play a game or read a book or sit there with like your laptop or something. I don't really know. I just wanted an extra little chair or yeah, seating area, I guess. But as you can see, the space is very cramped. I used this shelving unit from Eco Lifestyle, which I think is very cute. And I always love it when I have the ability to use that shelving unit because I can't always use it. It's more of like for most of the homes that I built, it's more of like an outside item. But for this house, because this is more of like a country cottage style kind of vibe, that shelving unit worked out perfectly on the inside of the house as well. So I was really happy with that. But here you can see this is the bedroom area, and the bedroom has that little, that window area right there. And I think it looks so pretty. There is some really pretty lighting or sunlight coming into this room, so I was really excited about that. And I was also very excited about the colors in this room. I was trying to make it look as matchy-matchy as possible, and I think I succeeded with the pastel yellow and the baby blue on the wall. And I don't know, I feel like the colors are just so pretty and dreamy, and definitely a little bit too much to my liking for real life. But for in The Sims, and especially a house like this, I feel like, yeah, it's perfect. I actually had to remove that little poof chair next to the wardrobe or the dresser right there. That little poof chair from Cats and Dogs. It was causing me some routing issues, so I had to delete that poof. And then after that, I was actually fine. So yeah, that was all good. And then I cluttered up that little extra dresser that I have right there with some flowers and just make it look very spring-like. And then I quickly swapped out the painting in the living area for a different one, because I'm really happy actually that I did that, because I really like that painting a lot more. The one I ended up placing there is from Dine Out, and I feel like the colors in that painting complement the colors in the living area so nicely. So I'm really happy that I came across that painting in the catalog and swapped it out. But here you can see we have moved on to the second floor of the house, where I quickly just placed a desk with a computer, because for gameplay, you would definitely need that. Well, you don't definitely need it, but I mean, it is nice. Like you kind of do need it actually. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure to place a computer. And then the easel that I initially placed downstairs, I actually put here in the study area because it made a lot more sense here, I guess. And I needed something extra to fill up the space as well. And then the upstairs also has that little hallway right there that I actually had to close off with that wall, where I ended up placing an archway, but I actually had to place that wall there because the roof was clipping. And the only way I could make that work was by placing a wall there, because I couldn't really fix the roofing, because then it wouldn't make sense on the outside or like on the exterior of the build. So I actually had to fix that by placing a wall, but I mean, it ends up looking just fine, so I'm really not that bothered by it. And yeah, upstairs we have the only bathroom of the house as well. So there's only one bathroom in this house, and it's upstairs, which is something I don't typically like to do, because I like to have at least a half bathroom downstairs as well. But for this build, it was not working. Like, I tried it, trust me, I tried it, but for the floor plan, there was no way I could make that work. And since this is only a 2-sim house, I figured one bathroom was enough and I could just place it upstairs, and then yeah, that should all be just fine. But here you can see we have a little balcony area outside where I ended up placing the flower arranging table, which this house definitely needed that. I wasn't really thinking of a specific storyline for this house, but yeah, this cottage, to me it screams gardener. I mean, that always happens whenever I build little cottages like this. I always tend to go for a storyline with a gardener, but I mean, especially since this is spring themed, I feel like it's definitely a gardener, or like someone who likes to create flower arrangements, someone who maybe has a little flower shop somewhere in Windenburg. I think that that would be really cute. So that's definitely what I tried to go for. Here you can see outside I just quickly placed some seating areas around, a little picnic table as well as a little bench. And I also made sure to place a grill and obviously some planters as well. Oh yeah, and also a little chest table because I wanted to include at least an extra skill building item, but I feel like that's that already. So let's hop into the game and I'll show you the house in real time. So here we have the house in the game. As you can see, it's quite weird. The shape is really funky and the house is just a little bit weird looking, but I did try to go a little bit overboard with the landscaping. There are a lot of flowers around, and I also used a lot of colors on the exterior of the build because I just wanted this build to scream spring, and I think I succeeded. I think it looks very spring-like. Over here, when we walk through the front door, you enter into the dining area basically, which over here we have a little entryway as well with just a little table right here and yeah, a place to hang your coat and store your shoes and a mirror on the wall. And then over here we have the dining area, which I tried to make as colorful as possible, as you can see, and it leads into this very tiny, very colorful kitchen. I am in love with this stove. I think it's so pretty and it's perfect for this little house, obviously, because it's a country cottage. So yeah, it fits in here perfectly and the colors are a little bit all over the place, but I still feel like it works. And then over here, when we walk through this hallway, you enter into the very cramped but cozy looking living area. We have the couch with a chair and a tiny little TV right here and a bookcase as well. And then over here, just an extra little table where you can sit down and play a game or read a book or have a conversation or what have you. And then over here we have a door that leads into the only bedroom of the house, which is very matchy and I'm really happy with the way that this room turned out. It also has something to do with the way the lighting comes in here, I guess. See, when we go to the afternoon, you have this pretty sunlight going into the house and I just think it looks so cute. So yeah, I'm overall very happy with this bedroom. And then when we take the ladder and go upstairs, we have this little study nook right here with a computer desk and an easel right there. And then off of the study area, we have this tiny little bathroom, which is also quite colorful. And I really enjoy the way that this looks. And then over here, we have a door that leads on to the balcony where we have a flower arranging table and some flower or planter boxes as well, as you can see. And over here, we have the little side yard, I guess, with a picnic table and yeah, just some decorations around. And then here you can sit on this little bench under the very pretty tree right here. And we have a grill out here as well, a little sink, an outdoor bin, and yeah, some extra planter boxes and a chess table, and definitely more than enough space on the lot for you to plant some things if you want to use this house for an actual gardener. But that's actually it for this build. So this spring cottage comes in at 54,382 simoleons. And it's placed in Windenburg on that tiny little square lot that I think is just so cute. So yeah, it's definitely not a starter home, but yeah, my homes never are, as you probably know by now. But that's actually it for this build. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video. You can definitely go ahead and download this build off the gallery if you want to. My username on the gallery is Simmarysims. You can also follow me on Twitter and on Instagram if you'd like. My username on there is Simmarysims as well. If you're not subscribed to my channel already, feel free to do so. And if you want to be notified of every single time I upload a video, just make sure to click that little bell icon and you should be fine. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching and I'll see you all in my next build.